Are you a grumble bum come holiday season leading into Christmas like this one here? Or are you like me who gets really excited when we start hearing Mariah Carey come on?
What's his name?
Jay. Well, yeah. So today on today's episode, we're going to kind of be talking about bringing holiday cheer.
To your divorce.
Yeah, during the holiday season.
We're going to talk about a couple things. Well, a few things.
Yeah.
Shifting your perspective from to
creating new traditions now that it's, you're in charge.
Yeah. Co-parenting with Grace. I know that's going to be something for some people, but we'll give some suggestions.
Yeah. And really, I think giving back is important, or at least for us. So maybe it's also important for you too.
Right. So I think the goal of this episode is, especially for individuals where this is their first holiday season post-divorce, we want to be here to support you, give you some ideas to make that holiday season a little easier, a little bit more joyful.
Yeah, hopefully with time, as those years pass by, you've started to create those new traditions that you've got. You've shifted that perspective as well. There's a number of things.
I will say, definitely, it's gotten easier for me, like over time. So
yeah, I don't even think about it now. So
you don't think about the holidays?
Well, no, I definitely think about the holidays. It's my favorite time of the year. How could you not?
I'm just teasing.
All
right. So in a Healthline study, actually, 62% of participants reported very elevated stress levels during the holidays. So we really want to help you have less elevated stress levels.
Is that so? Does stress levels not depression? Because I'd imagine that
it wasn't defined. It wasn't defined. I mean, look, I think the holiday season is already kind of stressful anyway. It's like, planning for stuff, but if it could be the more joyful kind of stress versus the sad kind of stress,
yeah,
that would be good. All right, so
I guess that kind of brings us into that first point that we want to talk about.
Shifting your perspective.
Yeah, and what are we wanting to focus on that then?
I think just trying to keep yourself and your family positive, right? So, of course, divorce sometimes can have some negative connotations with it, but since you're in control now, you can try to start thinking about things in a more positive light, and honestly, be grateful, right? Bring some gratitude to the holiday season.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, because whether or not you felt like maybe you didn't have the control beforehand, if you're going out on this new path alone or with your kids, maybe for this Christmas or holiday season, you're in the driver's seat. And we've spoken about this often beforehand, but it also relates to the holiday season as well and Christmas. So, and just, I guess being thankful and also showing that gratitude for what you do have.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever that is, right? It doesn't have to be material. You have your health, you have your kids, you have your family, you have a job.
Yeah.
It could be anything. Just find something
to be thankful for.
Right.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be something that costs anything as well.
Exactly.
It's just, really trying to, obviously shift that mindset to be, grateful.
Anything. Thankful for this McDonald's meal. If that's what you want.
That you can buy this McDonald's
That's
meal.
right.
Yeah.
If that's what you want, hey, I'm so grateful for my, potato thing in the morning.
Yeah.
My hash brown.
Yeah, like if you've got kids, maybe you're grateful for this.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Exactly.
Yeah. And, so I think the next thing that we want to touch on is creating new traditions.
Right. Things or activities that bring you joy.
Correct. And they don't necessarily have to cost money. You can certainly find things that, are affordable or free. During that time. Yeah. So I think by setting that tone for future holidays, by, what's important to you. Maybe you were doing things in your marriage that you didn't enjoy. That was a tradition.
Right. Because you had to do it. Going to the in-laws' place.
Yeah.
Well,
we used to call them the outlaws in Australia.
The outlaws?
Yeah. Did you ever, we used to have to go to so we went to my mum's side of the family for a start, and my dad's side, and they were all married, but it was an exhausting day.
It was. Maybe now it's just some R&R.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could do whatever.
Yeah.
But just thinking of things, of course, we're talking about divorce finances. That's kind of the scope of our podcast, right? I know here in our neighborhood, there is a house that every year builds out this crazy Christmas village with multiple trains and a
Oh,
Ferris
yeah.
wheel and all this stuff. They spent a lot of money on it. I didn't. So
Yeah.
one of our traditions now is to walk over there and look at it for free and just comment on everything.
Yeah, in old neighborhood that I used to live in, the whole neighborhood. And I feel sorry for the people who didn't get into the tradition. Like they would go full out, like decked out, and they've got the kids dressed up in elves outfits, and
they're selling hot chocolate
yeah, the kids
outside.
are selling like
What's it called? Is it called Christmas Village or something? I used to drive there as a kid, I think. Yeah. And we still drive.
It has long lines, and that's selling free.
That's
maybe the hot chocolate's not going to cost you, or would cost you, but
yeah.
But it's those sort of like, there's like we live down here in the beach cities of LA. So like down by the waterfront area, they'll have like, tree lighting ceremonies that you can just, rock up and show up there and watch it for free,
Or the
Just get
farmer's
into the vibe.
market. The farmer's market has performances, holiday performances, all free.
Yeah.
Writing a note to Santa with your kids.
Yeah.
It only costs the paper and the pen that it's on, that you're using. Doesn't have to cost anything.
And if you do have the money available, create some sort of new tradition, whether it be going somewhere or,
yeah, if you know what, if you have the finances, I noticed I was planning my kid's birthday party actually the other day, and I noticed that on a holiday the escape room was fully booked because I think there's just some people that don't or the movies, right? They go to the movies on Christmas Day or on Thanksgiving, they'll go to an escape room. So if you've got the funds and hey, maybe you don't have to go to the outlaw's house, but you want to go work out for the day, go work out. Yeah. That'll be fun. Whatever.
So one thing that I like to talk about, and the next topic that we're going to talk about is, I guess, co-parenting, but with some grace, and being a divorced couple does not necessarily mean you have to be in the trenches all the time fighting. It can, be a positive experience, where you kind of encouraging of each other, talking well of the other person as well, and being flexible during that holiday time. Like my ex, for the longest period of time, I would take my son to Australia every single Christmas because her family didn't celebrate really Christmas. So, so I was very lucky and fortunate, and she was very flexible.
Gratitude.
Yeah. To be able to take my son every year to Australia for Christmas to see his Aussies family. This is actually probably the first Christmas other than COVID where we're not going back, and she's actually going to have him for the full 2 weeks there. So there's a part of me that I'm missing out on being back home, but I'm also want to be grateful that she gave me all those years of going every single year. And so it's time for her to enjoy that time with, her family.
And maybe you're not really into your baby daddy or baby mama anymore, but there still has to be some gratitude there if you like your kids. You have your children as a result of your co-parent.
Yeah.
So perhaps if you can stand it without spending any money, one of the new traditions that you can create is potentially helping your kids create holiday cards. Right? Holiday cards for your co-parent. Doesn't cost anything. Doesn't have to come from you. You don't have to make the card. Let your kids make the card. I think that would be a nice gesture.
Yeah, because look, which getting back to like where we started there is like we're trying to create that stable environment for the kids as well. If you do have kids,
right?
And I personally like to still even do something or offer something, doing something together as as a family, like, from my son's side of it, it's like if I'm happy, if is there an opportunity to do something with his mum as well,
even if it's a few minutes, like opening presents together for 10 minutes, in the same room,
so
or
I understand not everyone's going to be able to have that
possible,
sort of relationship,
not always possible,
but if you do have that, I think it goes a long way to showing, hey, you know what, we're living separately, but we can still be here to love you and care for you and get on. But I know that it's not everyone can do that.
And again, only think about what you can control. So let's say a homemade card is made and it's not appreciated by the other side. That's okay. That's okay. It was from the heart, from your kids and from your side, and that's all right. Can't control the other side.
Yeah.
You don't have to control the other side anymore. I'm thankful for that.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you're trying to instill in your children, some good values as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good values and good manners.
Yeah. So even though we don't agree on everything, we're still going to make that effort.
So speaking of good values, giving back.
Yeah. This is definitely something that I like to do. And I think when I first got divorced, I definitely took my son off to a number of like nonprofits and charity places for like Thanksgiving, where we'd be like serving up, turkey. Because I had no family here who, they're all back in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Thanksgiving, I guess for me, wasn't really a tradition because I've only just done that ever since I've been here in the US.
Right.
Whereas Christmas, it's different.
So giving back, kids or no kids, right? Because we have an audience that has no kids. That's all right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can give back, and there are psychological studies that show that giving back makes people feel good.
Yeah.
And you can either give back to a population, right, by going to a food bank or collecting canned food or getting some presents. Yeah. Again, if you have the funds for it.
Yeah.
Or find someone in the neighborhood that maybe doesn't have anyone to celebrate with and make them a card.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it doesn't have to cost much or anything. People just want to be thought of.
Yeah. No, there's definitely so many worthy organizations out there, though, if you do want to go volunteer your time and just bring a little bit of cheer into someone else's life. Mm-hmm. I like to do a lot of cooking. I'd love to just be able to like do a bunch of cooking and kind of give it out to people less fortunate as well.
You give cookies out.
I do give cookies out and stuff like that to all my clients. So that can be a production.
I mean, another thought is any friends or family members, cousins, whatever, just write everybody a nice note. Buy a box of cheap Christmas cards or holiday cards if you don't celebrate Christmas, and just tell them how much you like them and how much you appreciate them. It doesn't have to be a financial gift.
Yeah. So I think those random acts of kindness is that, and I that goes to complete strangers as well. Like I have often, I'll just do it throughout the year there. Like if I'll pay sometimes for someone's shopping ahead of me at the checkout, especially
behind you.
No, even in front, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because normally I'm trying to get through really quick.
I was like, hurry up, I'll pay.
So, no, that's not the reason why I'm doing it.
But I'm doing it with a smile.
But that's not the reason why I'm doing it. But it does speed up the whole process because they might be fumbling with their card or they might be elderly or they might be counting out coins and stuff like that. I'm happy to like pay for someone's groceries within reason, I guess.
Yeah, if you have a coffee addiction, would you have felt wonderful if someone paid for your coffee?
Yeah.
So maybe do that for someone else, especially if they just bought a drip coffee. Then that's a good one to treat.
Oh, that's.
I'm just saying.
Next to nothing.
It's the thought that counts.
Yeah.
Oh, and another way to shift your perspective is wearing the, I don't know, for those of you that are watching this on YouTube, wearing ugly holiday sweaters.
Yeah. Maybe the ones that you haven't washed since last year, maybe.
Yeah, I can't help but laugh by looking at this sequins. I don't know what ornament or a moon or something.
Ball. I used to have a nicer one. This one's
I mean, I don't know when you washed that last because
anyway.
Because the name tag's old.
But who does not like going to an ugly Christmas sweater party? Even if you didn't like Christmas, I reckon you'd still enjoy it. You don't have
to go to the party. Just wear it to bed and wake up in it. Well, for people that don't overheat, but for people that like to be warm and snuggly, wear the ugly sweater all the time with the ugliest PJs that you have. Yeah.
So there's so many ways that you can do it, and I think it does, as you touched on, there's studies that show that by giving back, it does provide or elevates your sense of purpose, and it creates a connection to maybe someone who you didn't know that you might have just naturally walked past beforehand.
Right.
Whether it be a complete stranger, someone in need. And I think it's a real good model to show you, if you do have children, that instead of just being self-centered, let's help out other people around us.
And really actually just talking about Christmas presents and things like that, the pressure of presents. No, you don't have to get your kid a new iPad. Maybe you can talk about with your child creating a craft for other people that are less fortunate. And help them give back.
Yeah. And I guess that's maybe something that we should have mentioned in the co-parenting with Grace.
Yeah.
if you do celebrate Christmas or whatever holiday and there's gift giving involved, try and come up with like an equal amount of money that you're going to spend, because let's not make it about like I'm going to
It's
spend
not a
more.
competition.
Yeah, I'm going to spend more money on my child than you are. Like that's never good.
Well, that, and if you can't control the other side, and the other side wants to spend $500 and you really can't, it's not a competition. You don't have to spend $500, and you don't have to feel bad about not spending $500.
Yeah.
Quality time counts too.
Yeah.
Divorce this or that.
So what question do we have from our producer? I think we got a divorce.
Yeah. Divorce holiday shopping.
Yep.
The stress of holiday shopping, or divorce the stress of holiday travel / hosting.
All right.
I feel like I know which one you're going to pick.
You do. Yeah. So which one would I pick and why?
You're going to pick shopping because you don't do it anyway. And you like to do the holiday travel, and you do like, I think you do like to do holiday hosting.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just had my birthday and I was cooking for my birthday.
Yeah.
For
Betty Crocker is not going to divorce hosting.
Yeah.
Here, so
the shopping, I am bad at shopping. You did nail me in one, because I'm a terrible shopper. Sometimes I get ahead of it, but I just don't know what to get sometimes. So, and I don't really like being around that shopping environment or even Amazon. So,
right. So I'm the opposite. I am the opposite. So I'd rather shop on Amazon. I will not shop in person. I don't want to shop with crowds, but I don't like to host. And back in the day when I lived in New York and had to travel for the holidays, it was extremely stressful, because you'd come back for a week and a half, see all 12 family members and all of your best friends, a few, and cram them all into that period.
And you'd come back exhausted.
Yeah, and come back needing a vacation. So that's what I would do.
Well, I agree with you on that part. I was more about just focused on, I would keep my hosting.
Oh.
Because I know there's people like you who don't like to cook, and I love to cook.
I like to eat. So I like to eat. I don't like to cook. I'll be a taste tester. I'm even willing to be a dishwasher.
Anyway, so on that note, that kind of brings us to the end of our this episode. As a quick reminder, we touched on,
shifting your perspective.
Yeah, that's right. Creating new traditions.
Well, shifting your perspective from negative to positive. And to be grateful for anything.
Yeah.
Any little thing.
Control what you can control.
Control what you can control.
Yeah. Creating new traditions. So, things that bring you joy. You got there to kind of set the tone for those future holidays going forward. We spoke about co-parenting with grace.
To the extent that you can from your end.
Yeah.
Right? Can't control the other side.
And it's not a competition if you do celebrate Christmas or some other sort of gift-giving season as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a financial competition.
That's right.
And then giving back to make yourself feel good.
Yeah. Whether that be...
And to make someone else feel good.
Yeah. To a complete stranger, to a non-profit, and just think about, how that can make you feel more connected to your community and more valued as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So hopefully you got some, little lessons there or tidbits.
Little tips. I hope you enjoyed our holiday sweaters, if you can see them. And we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yeah. Chat to you then.